Right, so an order that has caught the imagination of the nation coming from the Madras High Court. The Madras High Court making it compulsory for Vande Mataram to be sung in both schools and offices. The High Court order is particular, not just government offices, but also private offices. In fact, the order has been laced with some interesting observations. The Madras High Court observes that patriotism is an essential requirement of every citizen, that the fact that this country is our motherland must be remembered by each and every citizen. And it's on the back of that we have the order coming out, making it compulsory once a week in schools, once a month as far as offices are concerned, and then going on to say that he hopes, the Madras High Court hopes, that this order is implemented in spirit and in letter. Now, what's interesting is that the Supreme Court as well in December had made the national anthem compulsory in movie theatres, while in the month of February, the same Supreme Court had held that as far as Vande Mataram is concerned, cannot be made compulsory, not binding as a part of the fundamental duties. Now, to join us on this, to discuss this issue further, we have with us Mr. Vaibhav Gaggar. What's interesting is that I spoke to some of the parties concerned. This hearing was about as long as 4 hours, and this was interestingly not even the subject matter of the application in question. With that, and given the fact that this kind of an attitude has often been referred to as pop nationalism, is there any other way than describing this order as perhaps a case of judicial overreach?
So, at the outset, let me tell you, Ashmit, I don't think there can be any quarrel about the fact that, yes, patriotism has to be integral to all of us, and every endeavor needs to be made to try and propagate that. But the route that has been adopted over here by the court, I mean, to put it mildly, is judicial activism, but it is going beyond the contours for 2-3 reasons, really. One, the national song is different from the national anthem. The national song does not configure in your Article 51, 51A, which talks about fundamental duties. It is not even a part of the Act, the statute, which is Insult to Public Honor Act 1971. Which also talks about the national anthem. And more importantly, as you just mentioned, I don't even believe that this was the issue before the court. The issue before the court was relating to a particular person, whether he qualified or not because of an answer relating to Vande Mataram, whether it was in Bengali or Sanskrit. And this had nothing to do with, the public-spirited judgment that has been delivered, plus making it applicable to all the private institutions. They're not really amenable to the writ jurisdiction in any case. And on top of it, the Supreme Court had dealt with this issue in February, as you mentioned, and decided not to look into it, creating a clear juxtaposition between the national anthem and the national song. So while the spirit is well appreciated, I'm not too sure how legally valid this is going to be at all.
Fair enough. Speaking of the legal validity, let's just draw the attention of our viewers to the December 2016 order as well. Now, at a time when just the last CJI, Justice Thakur, was seen shedding a tear or two in terms of the number of pending cases, given that 4 hours was dedicated to this case in the Madras High Court today, do these matters even need to be entertained? We have the Madras High Court passing an order as far as the Vande Mataram case is concerned. The national anthem has been made mandatory of all places in a movie theatre. Do these matters even warrant a consideration, or should they be thrown away at the very outset with perhaps slapping costs on the petitioners?
I wouldn't go that far at all, because we must look back at history. The courts have stepped in, and judicial activism has become a part and parcel of, society today. And it's very important as well, because there are a huge number of lacunae which are there when it's purely left to the executive or the legislature, for that matter. To say that a PIL which is raising the issue of the national anthem should be thrown out at the outset, I wouldn't go with that.